parents didn't attend college, but my opportunity to go to college was transforming, and I'm extremely grateful to both my parents for encouraging me to go to college. The only thing I can say about their encouragement for science is that my father didn't become outraged when I had a chemistry set and ruined my bedroom floor. He taught me how to sand and refinish. My PhD experience was extremely rewarding. I was able to develop a research agenda that was more independent than most PhD students. And that helped me enormously as I made my way through the program and also won a position at MIT as an assistant professor.
He is very intelligent, and he's also, very motivated. And so it does not surprise me that he was able to get through both undergraduate and go through PhD in a total of 6 years.
I had an opportunity after 15 years on the faculty at MIT to become chairman of the chemistry department, and just 3 years later I was tapped to be provost of MIT. But even then, I had the opportunity to continue research because I had a very large research group and many collaborations. The big transition came when I was offered the opportunity to serve as Chancellor at Washington University.
Sometimes when a new CEO or a new Chancellor comes on, it's all about the present and not about the past. And Mark respected, I think the reason he came to Washington University from MIT was because it was such a respected university with such a Chancellor as Dr. Danforth, who was so engaged in the community and set such a high standard, and he wanted to enhance that.
One of the amazing things when Mark Wrighton came to town was the fact that all of a sudden he was everywhere. I mean, he is so accessible, so visible. I accuse him at times of having an identical twin who was attending all these events with him because he is, in fact, everywhere. And frankly, that is so positive for the university and so positive for our region.
It's amazing all the things he does when you think of all the boards that he's on, all the different initiatives that he's got going. I mean, all the traveling that he does internationally. He is everywhere.
He walks the talk, and he's out there seeing with the students, talking to the parents, engaging in the fun of the university in many, many different ways.
I think it's important for me to have opportunities to interact one-on-one and in small groups with students, to learn from them, to find out their aspirations, and to help them make their way through Washington University. Frankly, I find it fun to be interacting with the students. One of my favorite activities when I don't have a scheduled lunch is to go over to the Danforth University Center, sit down uninvited at a table, and introduce myself to students. I usually give them indigestion, but we ultimately have a very good conversation.
I get to attend a lot of university events, and both Mark and his wife Risa are there. And they truly are the first couple of Washington University. It's that personal touch that they both really complement each other. They're my example of 1 + 1 = 10.
Another thing that Mark seems to be very passionate about is athletics at Washington U.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 4, Washington U. Win the victory. We're gonna win that day for the green and the red. Best in the land of all architects. So on, fight to the end.
To some outsiders, it would seem like an oxymoron, Washington U athletics, but in fact, Washington U has outstanding athletics, and Mark is always at the games. In fact, at every board meeting, at the end of the board meeting, he will say to the board, now tonight there's a women's basketball game, or there's a women's volleyball game, or there's a men's baseball game, so you're all welcome to be there, and I will save seats for you.
He is everywhere. He really is.
One activity or cause that he is very passionate about, and that's the McDonald International Scholars Academy.
We decided to undertake an initiative to bring us into partnership with academic institutions, with governments, corporations, and alumni in Asia. It's led to the development of what we call the McDonald International Scholars Academy, which now partners us with 25 universities around the world. Most of these institutions are in Asia. It partners us in research, in education, and it brings to St. Louis some of the most talented young people from all around the world. We're preparing the next generation of global leaders. And in this initiative, I'm especially pleased that we've had strong support from the business community of St. Louis.
This is no longer just a regional university or even a United States university. This is a high-level research university serving and developing information to help the world be a better place all over the world.
Having a Washington University in St. Louis is tremendously important to U.S. business. Most obvious, it graduates top-notch young people who will be leaders in their field. St. Louis businesses have an advantage in recruiting them. Those students are already here. They're already accustomed to St. Louis.
I think that everything that Washington University engages in that's for the betterment of its university is for the betterment of St. Louis.
This is, as I'm sure everybody knows, our third presidential debate here at Washington University. It is a huge privilege for us. In the debate business, and particularly with the CPD's crew, this campus is the gold standard of debates.
The business community of St. Louis must remain strong if this community is to remain strong. We certainly have benefited enormously from the generosity of corporations and individuals who lead them. But for the future, we know we must do our part to help the business community by working collaboratively on areas that challenge us, such as public education, strengthening the diversity of our workforce, building a more entrepreneurial culture, encouraging more research that will lead to important practical developments. The St. Louis region is an extraordinary center of fundamental work in plant and life sciences. We are uniquely positioned for work in plant science. We have one of the world's leading agricultural biotechnology companies, I would say the leading, in Monsanto. We have the Donald Danforth Plant Science Center. We have the University of Missouri. And we have Washington University and other academic institutions. Our aim in the Plant Science Initiative has been to be the academic cornerstone for work in this area. This will be extremely rewarding, not only to our region, but to the country and to the world.
Mark Wrighton, many people would look at him and say, wow, he's a brilliant chemist and a fantastic chancellor. But Mark is really just a great human being and really has a great sense of humor, which I'm not sure a lot of people have. He, of course, has that very wry little smile that you can occasionally see. But I remember when he first came to St. Louis, he and I were at a reception someplace, and somehow the two of us ended up alone, and people weren't talking to us. And I said, jokingly, I said, well, I'm a used car salesman, so people don't want to talk to me. And he said, well, I'm a chemist. And of course, people just run when they hear I'm a chemist. But he said, chemists are really fun people. We make things go fast, and we make things blow up.
A lot of first-year students tell me about the opening few days of orientation and how Mark takes his science and turns it into magic.
As I concluded my remarks to the students, I said to them, we're going to give you the gift of knowledge, and I pointed to the presents on the stage, and this gift of knowledge will illuminate your path through life. And the lights went out in Graham Chapel, and we opened the packages, and they were all aglow. We gave the glow sticks out to the students as they left, and that became a part of our tradition.
He has a very clear vision of what Washington University is and still can be in the future.
He has no special priority for any one area of the university. He feels very strongly that for the university to be great, it's got to be great across the board.
He has taken it very personally that he wants this university to really succeed, and you can see it in his own quiet way, this really intense passion about the school's success.
Washington University is a very special place, and I find my role here as Chancellor to be extraordinarily stimulating.
I'd just like to congratulate Mark on receiving the Right Arm of St. Louis Award. That is a terrific honor, and my congratulations to him, to the university family, and also to his own family, Risa and the team. So thank you, Mark and Risa, and the entire Wrighton family. Well done.